Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here once again, and welcome back to the Labyrinth. So, I got some poetry for you guys today, as always. Hey, so, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, this first one, and also, by the way, if this is your first time here at Dixie Sales from Labyrinth, for starters, welcome. Um, uh, um, uh, but also, what I do is I read 5 poems. Three for myself, two from other poets. And if you're returning, welcome back. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So, this first one is called Maze. Life feels like a maze sometimes, like the corn maze, the one at the pumpkin patch that I got lost in one time. So many twists and turns, almost no indication of where to go. And sometimes you have a map, sometimes you don't. Is this how guinea pigs feel? One of the biggest parts of life is navigating this maze. So, life definitely does feel like a maze sometimes, where it's a lot of twists and turns, a lot of confusing moments where you may feel lost. And I kind of related to my real life, like the time I got lost in the corn maze of the pumpkin patch. True story, by the way. Hey, it seems like there's a lot of turns and stuff that you gotta make, and a lot of crossroads that you'll be at sometime. And so, navigating the maze is navigating the maze is a part of life. And like I mentioned, sometimes you have a map, sometimes you don't. And sometimes you know where you're going in life, sometimes you have no idea. But eventually, you gotta figure out how to navigate the maze called life. This next one is called Sculpture. Creating a sculpture is harder than it looks. Shaping every part, allowing the form to come out. Sometimes your hands shake out of anticipation, or maybe it's fear. But even the shakiest hands create beautiful masterpieces, which makes each sculpture unique. Talking about sculptures and sculpting sculptures, which I haven't really made a sculpture per se, but I've worked with like clay and stuff in art class like that, and I mean like the actual clay. Sculpture making is hard. Sometimes it takes years to do. To craft every little fine detail, but uh, uh, so sometimes you got shaky hands. You don't know how it's gonna turn out. You're anxious. You're scared. You're not sure how how the sculpture and it could be a literal sculpture. It could be a metaphorical sculpture, or the sculpture could represent yourself, your life, or something like that. And for me, I kind of played it a bit more literal, but sometimes, but it could also be a metaphorical sculpture. But you're not sure how it's going to turn out with shaky hands and stuff. If you say, "Is this going to turn out good?" And sometimes, even with the shakiest hands, even with the mistakes you may make along the way, it'll still turn out beautiful. It'll still turn out as an excellent sculpture. And this next one is called If I Was a Superhero. If I was a superhero with superpowers, what would they be? And what type of hero would I be? Maybe flight, to get to the crime on time. Maybe super speed, some strength. I would want to help people, but what if I'm too reckless? I'd be admired by civilians, but would it go to my head? Risking my life for others, would it all be worth it? So kind of talking about superheroes, and kind of talking about some of the stuff that they go through, and obviously superheroes fictional and stuff like that, but seeing how their stories play out, sometimes it's tragic. Incredible powers, able to do great things, but there's a lot of balance between what they can do versus what they're physically capable of doing. Like, even with heroes who are physically capable of doing so much stuff, there's a lot of times where they can't always be there, and when stuff goes wrong in their lives. For example, Spider-Man, and very tragic life there, at least for Peter Parker's iteration, and for the other Spider people as well. Spider-Man losing countless people, coming up short at times, but it's all part of being a superhero. So kind of talking about superheroes and some of those struggles, and maybe perhaps you could apply it to life. Sometimes in life, things don't always go the way you want them to, but how do you bounce back from it? How do you deal with it? How do you recover from it? This next one is called Wing, and this is by Raquel Celez Rivera, and if I mispronounce that, I apologize, but the wing of the sea is the wave of the sky is the rain, the salt of the rain falls as hail, and the hail of hate rains in shots. The shot of the soul is the bell without time is the ballad that craves no beloved, the love that names not its ballad. A bridleless horse is this life. The life of the sea is the wave of the bird is the wing, and the wing of hatred is war. The war of the wind is the storm of the soul, the beloved of all, the poet of the sea, mariner, sea of the poem, the future. So, so a couple of things to note with this poem here, the way Raquel shows that one of the things that I'm picking up that is shown here is that everything is connected. So you see the wing, how it's related to the wave, and the wave being related to the rain, and the rain being related to hail, and how it's applied to life. How it says the wing of hatred is war, showing the wings going back to the birds. So showing how everything's connected, and this could be a metaphor for life, that everything is connected and everything falls together, and some of it can be tragic, but seeing how everything's connected and how everything comes together, I think, is the main basis of the poem here, and I believe it's very well done. And it's a very well done way that is described here by Raquel. And then this last one is called Trees, and this is by Mark Haddon. And again, if I mispronounce that, I apologize. But they stand in parks and graveyards and gardens. Some of them are taller than department stores, yet they do not draw attention to themselves. You will be fitting a heated towel ale one day, and see through the laboratory window a shoal of olive green fish changing direction in the air that swims above the little gardens. Or you awake at your aunt's cottage, your sleep broken by a coal train on the empty hill, as the oaks roar in the wind off the channel. Your kindness to animals, your skill at the clarinet, these are accidental things. We lost this game a long way back. Look at you, you're reading poetry. Outside, the spring air is thick with the seeds of their children. So kind of a similar vein showing connectivity, but this time it's through trees. And I think I've written and read poems by others about trees and how trees seem to be everywhere. And Mark really describes trees and describes their presence, essentially, how they seem to be everywhere and seem to be ever constant. And then comparing it to nature, or we see the oaks, and then comparing it to a second person point of view, talking about you and your life, even if it's not necessarily you per se, but kind of comparing it to life and connecting it to the trees, how as the trees are there, so are the things happening in life. So I think that's also very well done, and it really shows the importance of trees. And trees, of course, are important. They give off air. It allows us to breathe. So trees are definitely important. And the way you see it's connected here with the trees, and then the people, and the animals and stuff like that, had all the sense of interconnectivity is very interesting and very well done. But nevertheless, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor and like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the poems and my analysis of them. Do you agree or disagree with my analysis? Did you like or dislike the poems? Let me know. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.